Start na tayo sa lesson. Share ko lang yung screen. Yes. So, by the way, good morning. So, this is our lesson here in ITE 6202 Database Management 1, which is yung lesson natin today. So, midterm is about midterm week 3, lesson 4, which is all about the data definition language. So last time we already talked about yung paano mag-install ng SQL, yung Oracle 11G SQL sa ating computer. So make sure na na-download na siya kasi gagamitin natin mula sa midterm until the finals yung software natin dito. For not yet, you still have time to download it para masundan yung lesson. Anyway, so last time we also talked about the three different SQL language ginagamit dito sa Oracle 11G. So today we will talk about one of them, which is yung data definition language. So in this lesson, yung lesson natin, we will discuss about the data definition language or known as the DDL ang tawag dito. So it's used to create new table, modify existing column data type and sizes, as well as add a new column and grab existing column natin. This is also the standard command to define the different structure in the database and used to create, modify, remove database object natin dito. So, lahat ng command we will use today is under siya ng DDL. Kung saan yung kasama dito is yung create, alter, and grab po dito. So, you're able to, after completing this lesson today, you will able to, one, categorize difference between the database object. Number two, reviewed and analyze structure of the table. Number three is list and identify the usage of different data type. And number four, to create a simple table. And number five is modify, grab, delete a column after the table is created. So usually here in the database object natin, usually may kinocompose yun as five compose dito. One is the synonym. So siya yung nagbibigay ng alternate name or short name for the object natin. The index, which is give the performance of the queries. The sequence, you generate the numeric values when the table is created. Number four, in the view, logical represent subset of data, one or more table used to show a portion of table from base table. And number five is the table mismo, which is basic storage composed of rows and columns. So usually the table structure, so like we said earlier na consists siya ng rows and columns. Kung saan rows ay yun ay yung record and the columns are the field po natin. So table can create it by any time, even the users using the database at the same time while creating a new table. Which means dito sa DDL, pwede tayong gumawa ng table at the same time kahit yung may gumagamit ng table mismo natin. And there is no need to specify the size of the table because here in SQL or DDL language, automatic siya yung nag-a-adjust sa table po natin. The size is automatically defined by the amount of space allocated to the database as a whole. As a database administrator, or we already discussed in last meeting, which is the DBA, siya yung important estimate how much space the table will use in overtime natin. And sometimes depends on the data type size. So today we'll also talk about the different data type size and the amount of data stored in a particular table natin. So start with tayo sa table naming rule. So table naming rule is the name of a table column should not begin with a digit. Instead, always begin with a letter and must be at least 30 characters long, including the spacing po natin dito. However, the shorter the name easy to remember as long the table is easier to understand. And usually the table is must contain the A to Z, uppercase A to Z, lowercase A to Z, numbers 0 to 9, and you can use special characters like underscore, dollar sign, and the hashtag or pound key. And you should not use duplicate name of the other object owned by the same Oracle server user. Which means, for example, meron ka ng table 1, so which means you cannot use the word yung table name na table 1 uli. You have to use another name for it para hindi ma-conflict ang database program natin. The meaning using Oracle reserved words like sample, table, view database is not allowed. Same with the programming languages, hindi tayo pwede gumamit mga reserved words, which is yung mga reserved words, pag sinabi natin reserved words, those are the words yung ginagamit talaga sa command or sa program po natin. As well, the table name has been created by other user. And then the last one, okay, the last one naman is name must be not Oracle server serve words. So, start na tayo paggawa ng table dito. So how we do create a table here in the DDLS in SQL Oracle level G. To create a table, the user must have the two following, which is the create table privilege and the storage area natin. So, ito yung ating SQL command line, correct? Which is already discussed in the video before. So, unang gagawin ko, i-type natin dito is word na connect para makapasok tayo sa mismong Oracle 11G server. Then, it would ask you the username, which is yung system, then your password. Yung password will be the password yun during the time yung download kayo ng Oracle 11G in your computer. So, make sure kung anong password tinype nyo doon, yun din ang type dito. So, ang ginawa natin from the last video is admin. At you can see naman dito, pag di na-type yung password is hindi siya makikita. Tama? Hindi siya makikita, which means naka-hidden yung password niya. So, para hindi makita ng ibang tao, yun, kung anong tinatype po natin. Then, click natin enter. So, once you see the word na connected, which means nakapasok na tayo sa command line para gumawa ng SQL dito. So, yung the syntax used here in create table is create table name, column sizes, data type sizes, and the default expression. Kung saan ang table name is the name of the table, the column list is the list of columns, and the expression is the constraint added on each column. And later we'll discuss about the different expression or the constraint later. So, paano tinatype? Okay. Usually, tinatype natin sa dito. The same thing as you type at programming. Students, enter. Automatic meron siya ng number 2, which means so, unang nilalagay natin is yung USN number natin. Ito muna ito, then later we'll discuss. Naku, yun, forgot the word comma. Ay, try natin kung nangyari pag walang comma yun, try natin kung maglalang pa yung program. At you can see naman is yung, so type ko na lahat ng program. As you can see, is mayroon siyang error sa line 5 because yung line 4 mismo natin is walang comma. So, anong gagawin doon? Is you have to retype everything ulit. Usually, pag nagmali ka dito, you have to retype everything here. Yung copy paste lang naman. Ano. Okay. Okay. Na yan naman is yung name already used by the sitting object. So, hindi natin na pwede gamitin yung word na able students dito. Pag ano nangyari is, so, you know, try to close. Yun, mismong SQL command ulit. And gagawa ko ng bago. Later ko tuturo. Balik kay SQL. Or then, database 11 yung first yun. Click natin si SQL command line. Then, type ko ulit connect. Then, system. Oh, no. No, wala. Ulit. Ano. Okay. So once you type na dating code, oh my god. City na kasi. Okay. So, ano mag-delete? Hopefully, malaki pang lesson ng delete, pero, but, delete, drop, delete. Yun, grab. They call it grab dito. Gagamitin natin yung word ng grab para ma-delete yung dating table is ganito. Grab table student. Okay. Ulit natin. Comma and semicolon. Yan, the table is already grabbed. Which means na-delete na siya. Oops. So, yun ang problema dito sa SQL line. Once na may error in program, hindi mo na siya hindi mo siya ma-modify mismo ang program. Or you have to delete most of them. Balik tayo sa program. Okay, click natin ulit yung table. Enter. Yan. Once okay na yung table natin, may lalabas na table created. So take note, the name of the table is student, kung saan meron siyang 5 columns. Yung 5 columns are the USN ID, the last name, the first name, course, and the year level po natin. For the column USN underscore ID head, the constraint, pag sinabing constraint, that is a rules or rules na dito naka-assign sa kanya, which is yon primary key. Pag sinabing primary key, that is means that this column is restricted to user to enter the redundant value or the column natin dito. Usually, pag nilagay yung column dineclare as primary key, usually dapat wala siyang katulad to other records natin. So, sample US and ID number, yung mga Hong Kong ID number, Philippine passport, mapapansin niyo wala tayong katulad na ibang tao, kundi tayo lang ang may ganung number natin dito. And then for the last name naman, the last name column is yung nakaset na not null. Pag sinabi not null is means this column accept redundant value as long as no null, or dapat may entry. Dapat may laman yung data dito. Yes. Pag sinabi not null is kailangan may record doon sa mismong sa record natin yung last name natin dito. Okay. To know to describe the table and create, you may use DESE or describe command natin dito. Para makita natin yung command, so type natin dito DESC students, which means description students, and then click enter. So ito yung nakikita natin, yung actually for now ginagawa pa natin is yung field name dito, kung saan may nakikita tayong US and ID is not null with the number of 6, last name not null with the character 2, which is 15, and then first name, which is barcar 2, 15, course character 4, and then year level 5 dito natin. So ano yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, by the way? Yung loob ng parenthesis, yung number yun ay para sa ilang digits or ilang values pwede mo lagay dito, or ibang characters pwedeng lagay din. So by using this DESC command, easily will check the structure of your table at a constraint and enforcing each column data type and use and sizes. Now, we're going to talk about yung different data type ginagamit dito sa DDL natin, yung ginawa natin command dito. Pag sinabing barcar, this is called the variable length character, or in other words, it is variable character ang tawag dito. While pag sinabing car is the fixed length, which means naka-fix na yung length natin. So later we will see kung anong different. So as you can see here dito sa last name and first name, gumamit siya ng barcar because wala siyang fixed dito. Because of course, the first name, last name, ibang letters sa first name and last name natin. Unlike the course, usually nasa 4 characters tayo. So, which means dapat ang user or yung pagpapasok ng record, dapat at least 4 characters nasa loob. Also, with the year level po natin. Then we have the number. Number is a variable length for numerical data, and we also have the date, which is date and time values. For the long, it's a variable length character up to 2 GB ng storage niya dito. We have also the CLOB, or the character data, up to 4 GB, and we also have the raw and long raw is raw binary data. And of course, we have the BLOB, which is the binary data up to 4 GB, and the B file binary data store in internal file up to 4 GB, and of course the row ID. Row ID, which is the base 64 number system represent a unit address on the row table natin. After the table is created, by any chance the user might change the table structure for other reason. So, minsan, there are times na biglang kailangan mo change yung length ng ating, for example, hindi kulang yung 15. For example, mayroon kasi mga tao haba yung last name o first name nila. So, pwede natin modify ito. Or of course, itatype yung 4 characters niya, you want to type the whole meaning of it. Then, of course, same with the year level po natin. So you can omit the column, your column definition or its name need to be changed, or you need to remove the column natin. Or you want to put a table into read-only menu. To do this is yung kailangan gumamit ng alter table statement. Alter table statement is either add a new column after the table has been created, or modify existing column definition, define the default value for the new column, drop existing column, drop a column, and change table to read-only status. Here in DDL, we have three types of alter statement ginagamit. One is the alter to add, which means add new columns, alter to drop, delete specific columns, and alter to modify the existing column natin dito. So, yung alter to add, ang syntax nito is alter table name, add column name, data type, size. So natin dito. So as you can see dito sa given example, meron na siyang value sa loob. So before we go to alter, diretso muna tayo kay insert. Insert command po tayo. We will go muna sa insert command para mag-insert ng data dito. Okay, insert. So paano maglagay ng insert? O pagpasok na record dito. So ganito siya. Usually pag insert ng table is yan, o add. Ayan, insert. Okay. Yan, si insert command ganito pag insert ng record. Insert into students values. Then tatap natin may ito nasa loob. 100, comma, salamat, Roxanne, comma. Then, as you can see naman, usually pag characters, kailangan lagyan ng single quote. Dito. Single quote sa kanila. Then, mostly lahat. Yes, BS. BSIT. Then, single quote 1. So, okay. As you can see, meron tayong apat na field dito. Kasi we have 5, the field dito which is the USN ID, the last name, the first name, course, and the year level. Para matapos tayo, click semi, comma, and click enter. You have one role created. Okay, paano ma-view yung pinasok natin na dito? Para ma-view, pinasok natin dito is nasa select. Actually, nasa ibang lesson. Pero pinapakita ko na dito from students and semi-comma. Okay? At you can see, meron na tayong record na yung pinasok natin kanina yon 100, salamat, Roxanne, BSIT, and C1. That is how we insert values dito sa table natin. So for now, papasok ko muna yung dalawa. We're going to type ko let's insert into students values. Then 200 para makasunda natin yung ginagawa nila dito. Okay. Albert, BSIM. BSIM pala is information management. Pasok natin yung 300 natin. Um, enter. 1, 2 line only. And ito yung isa pala. Per line yung pwedeng gawin. Then, yan, napasok na natin yun. Tatlong record with same at the module. Yan. So na yan naman, for example, the student table had composed of three values shown a figure above, and the user need to add a new column in the new table. Kung saan, for example, yung gusto natin maglagay another field, basically address, sa gitnaan yung habang mayroong ng laman yung table natin. Usually sa other database, hindi ka makagawa ng hindi ka na makagawa ng isang field once mayroon na nagrun ng database, nagrun yung database sa public. So, pero dito sa DEDL, pwede siyang maglagay additional field habang may laman na yung loob natin dito. So, how we do that? So, type lang natin to si alter table students. Then, you need the word add, yung field name, and yung variable type, which is the marker, and the length niya is 15. And click enter. Then you can see the word, the table alter. Then use again the DESC command to confirm that address is already added to the columns po natin. So, type natin ulit si DESE students, yung name ng table. Then enter. So you can see na-add na yung ating bagong field, which is address natin dito, which is the marker 2 and then 15. Run. So this is only means the user will insert or add a new value to this table. User must provide a role, now a data, that each column or address po natin. So like I said kanina, is yun, paano maglagay ng insert the record dito is we have to type insert into student name and table, and then you word the values. So kanina we only put 5 na record, pero this time we will put 6 na record na dito. So tagnan na 400 comma almasan comma Mary. Then of course na is BSIM comma 2 and comma passing. Then enter. And we have one row created natin dito. Text in the underline is the values of the columns address. Notice when the user tries to view the whole values student will table address who are inserted before using are now set to null dito natin. Ngayon, like I said, so paano i-view natin siya? So usually pag view ng table o yung makita natin yung laman ng table natin is usually the command select asterisk from students. Then click and semicolon of course and click enter. Now you can see naman the address and the students for Salamat, Sibron, and Lee, and Amazon are now set to null because during the intersection of the data, the first 3 is only required before was only 5. Pero since nag-add na si database admin another field which is address, required na sa susunod na user, kailangan maglagay additional na field which is maging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 na field na kailangan pasok. Yes. So, okay. Next one is yung alter to modify. Sa alter to modify is yung syntax niya is alter table name, modify column name, a new data type, and a new size. Like yung sabi ko kanina, we can change their data type and sizes by using the command ng alter table also. So, try natin itong command natin sa baba. Yung tinype niya dito is, yung as you can see from here, nagay siya ng insert student table student values 500 Del Rosario Sur Diterg Alan ang course niya BSIM second year Manila. So ang nangyari sa kanya is the value is too large for the columns to the system, the student, and the last name is because it's naging 19 characters yung Del Rosario Sur Diterg, which is ang maximum lang natin 815. Siyempre, ito yung talaga name ng last names niya. Di mo pwede matanggalin yung ibang character dito kasi may iba na maging name niya dito, correct? So, paano maging change yung table natin dito or change the character field size natin dito? So, you have to type itong command, command natin, which is alter table students and modify last name bar r 20 and click enter. At you can see nakalagay na siya table alter natin. Ngayon pasok na natin si yung bagong record natin dito. This is si insert into students values. Rosario Soren return. Single quote to single quote Manila. And semicolon sa dulo. And click enter. Now you can see is one row created. Unlike kanina we saw in the sample, hindi siya mag-create kasi yung last name niya Del Rosario Sur the third is over na 15. Since we already changed it to length to 20, which means ma-accept na itong Del Rosario Sur the third po natin. And next one is alter to drop, which means mag-delete or remove the column name. So there are many types here, like delete the columns and rename the table and truncate statement natin dito. Okay. First we will do is yung drop yung column natin. For the syntax ng drop is alter to drop is alter table name, drop column, and column name natin. So which means itong part nito it depends on their name ng table and the name of your column po natin. So about that the table address is no longer used and save it to space, you can use the alter the drop statement po natin. Kung saan mo gusto natin remove yung field na address since kasi only si Alan and si Mary lang ang may address na field and for the rest wala sila. So to be fair, we can remove the address field natin dito. So we'll just type here the alter table students and then drop column address and click enter. And then the table alter, which means already changed. So para makita kung talagang wala na yung address, so we will just type ulit DESE or description, and the name ng table, which is students. See, it's already now remove na yung address po natin because we already remove it from the command graph column address po natin. Okay, next. Next command ang tuturo ko sa inyo is yung paano mag-rename ng table. So, rename a table or change the existing name table use. You can use the rename statement. So, the syntax nito is rename old table name to new table name natin. Example is, yung gusto nating name ng table is from students, gagawin natin estudyante. Para may iba. Para may iba yung name ng table and of course para malaman yung gumawa ng table ay isang Pilipino. Filipino. Okay. Okay. So, title lang natin, rename students to estudyante. And click enter. And now the name table is already renamed. So, para malaman kung nag-rename na talaga, so we type select asterisk from estudyante. And enter. See? Andun na yung record natin. Which means the table is now already called estudyante. The next one naman is yung truncate statement. The truncate statement is to delete the values in the student but leaving the structure. They may use the truncate statement po natin. So, yung truncate statement is para delete the values. Pwede mag-delete ng values for data. Pwede mag-delete ng values po natin. So, try natin type ito. Truncate. Yes, truncate. So, type natin dito. Truncate table estudyante. And my spelling. Sorry. And table is already truncate, which means na-delete na yung record natin sa loob. Na-delete na yung record natin sa loob. So, para manapan kung na-remove na siya, kung wala na talagang record, we will just type ulit the select asterisk from estudyante. So, remove na yung record natin, which means there is no rows or the record in that particular table is already removed po natin. So, that is yung truncate, which means andun pa rin yung table pero nawala yung record natin sa loob. As shown above, there's no rows as selected when the select statement is issued while the DESE command is issued, the structure of the student table is interrupt. Next is yung drop a table, which is yung ginawa natin kanina yung nagbali ako ng command from the table. So we will use the dropping a table, which means all the records and table will delete as well the structure will drop to have been issued. The rollback statement will also retrieve the record after the drop statement is issued by the flush command statement. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Nasa video na siya. Yes, Oh. Then nasa YouTube video, the description box. Andun yung Google Drive link ko para directly makuha yung installer. Yes, nasa YouTube description box pa yun. Yes. Wala dun sa mismong sa chat room. Sa loob ng description box ng YouTube, yung upload ko video. Yes. Yes, okay. Okay. Yes. Doon yung makikita yung installer ng Oracle 11G. Yes. Um, okay. Balik na tayo dito sa lesson na where we drop the table or delete natin table. So we just type. Actually, nagawa natin kanina kung, like I said, nagawa natin kanina because, delete tayo ng table natin. So again, the syntax from the graph table is graph table and table name. And the syntax table is the name of the table. When all the data is deleted from the table, any views or synonyms remain but or invalid. And the pending transaction are committed. So, ayun, delete natin siya. So, type natin estudyante. Estudyante. Then click enter. Then already grab po dito. Then try natin i-view ulit yung table by using the select attributes from estudyante. Estudyante. And enter. So, which means table or view it does not existed already. This means wala na siya yung table ng estudyante natin. Yes. So, yan, that is our lesson for today. Di mo na ako mag-proceed to second part. Since many of you hindi pa naman naka-install ng Oracle 11G natin dito. Okay. No, this is a lesson summary for this lesson. It's yung create a new table using the create table statement, add a modified graph existing columns using the alter statement, and change the name of the table using the name, and delete a table using the drop statement, and remove all rows in the table using the truncate statement po natin. And terms to reminder natin dito. Okay, for those hindi pa nakapag close ko mo lang itong SQL ko. Meron to. Sa mga hindi pa nakapag download ng Oracle 11G, open ko lang YouTube ko. Features. Yung makikita yung creator. Hindi mo open. On an dashboard. Dito po. Sa link. Sa link na video natin. Okay. Hindi ba open? Something. So anyway, so yung like I said, yung Oracle 11G na table statement is nasa loob ng description box yung video na feeling week 3 lesson 3 po natin. Sa description box, once na click yung description box doon, may automatic click yun lang yung download, automatic yun na installer ng Oracle 11G po natin. So until here muna tayo for today. Like I said, hindi tayo makaproceed kung wala pa kayong Oracle 11G. So give you time naman mag-install muna yun. Yes. Yung lahat instruction andun sa video sinend ko on the last few days ago. Yes. Ano wala tayo? Okay. Anyway, so until here muna tayo for today. Yes. And then we will continue lang sa next meeting which is on March 6 ang next meeting pa natin. Any question Walang question. Yes, download. Yes, session ko na ng video nito. Yes, yes po. Yeah, thank you then. So, until here muna tayo for today and see you on the next meeting. Bye-bye. Yes. Prelim exam dito sa database, na-post ko noon. Sa isang subject wala pa. Yung isang, yes, isang subject. Yung isang subject, yan, that is our lesson for today.